This is teacher Jianshi from Think Academy, and welcome to our Day 6 explanation problems. So today we are going to talk about something related to inequality, and we are also going to talk about the system of inequality and also equality with a parameter. So basically, let's first of all review some of the important concepts and properties of the inequality. So for inequality, we have the addition property. So which means that if A is larger than B, so if we add a number on both sides, then the inequality signs still apply. So A plus C is still like larger than B plus C. And vice versa, if the situation is A is smaller than B. This is called the addition property. So if we add a number, we don't flip the sign. And we also have the subtraction property. We also doesn't change the sign if we subtract a number on both sides of the inequality. So if A is larger than B, so A minus C will also larger than B minus C. So this also applies. So for addition and subtraction, we will always keep the same sign. So this is super important. But for the multiplication and division, the situation will be different. So if we multiply a positive number on both sides of the equation, the inequality sign still holds. So if A is larger than B, then 2A will also larger than 2B. So the inequality sign still holds. But if C is smaller than 0, meaning that if A is larger than B, then minus 2A will be smaller than negative 2B. So we need to flip the sign if we multiply a negative number on both sides of the inequality. And the same rules apply for division. So for division, if we divide a positive number on both sides, the inequality sign still holds. But if we multiply a negative number on both sides of the equation, then we need to flip the sign. So this is the two situations for the division and also multiplication. So here are the basic rules. So for multiplication and division, when we multiply or divide a positive number, we keep the sign. But if we multiply or divide a negative number, we need to change the sign. So this is the basic properties. And for the inequalities involving or, there are like very important rules here. So for example, if we want to solve the compound inequality, x is smaller than x minus 1 is smaller than 0, or x plus 1 is larger than 4, then the solution will be two parts. X can be either like smaller than 1 or larger than 4. So all these parts satisfy the condition. So we have two parts. And for the compound inequality involving or, actually it will be involving two parts. But for the situation that involving and, so for that situation, it means that like the inequality needs to meet both conditions. So for example, if we have the compound inequality, 2 is smaller than 2x plus 4, but less than 6, then actually we have two conditions. The first condition is that 2x plus 4 is larger than 2, and the second condition is that 2x plus 4 need to be smaller than 6. So we have two conditions. So x need to be larger than negative 1, and x also need to be smaller than 1. So x can be only in this area, in the middle part. So if there is an and for the compound inequality, it needs to meet the two requirements. Okay, so that's for the review, and let's go over two questions in the homework. So for that question, we need to solve for the system of inequality. So the first one and the second one, let's do them one by one. So solve for the first inequality. We have x is minus 2x, and on this part, we need to flip the sign. So 2 negative become a positive, so x minus 2x plus 6 is larger or equal to 5. So negative x is larger than or equal to negative 1. And when dividing a negative 1 on both sides of the inequality, we need to flip the sign. So x needs to be smaller or equal to 1. So this is the first inequality. And what about the second one? So for the second one, actually we need to, so this is inequality involving fraction. So in order to get rid of the fraction, we can multiply the least common multiple, right, on both sides of the equation, which is 12. So we have 12 times this one is smaller than 12 times this one and plus 12. So for the number, we also need to times 12. So here we have 3, and x minus 3 is less than 10x plus 12. And we need to open up the parentheses and do the calculation. So here we have 7x, and here we have negative 9 minus 12, which is negative 21. So 7x is larger than negative 21, so x is larger than negative 3. So for the system of inequality, it means that the x need to meet both conditions. So we will have x is larger than negative 3, and also x is smaller than 1. So here is the solution for this part. So we can only have the middle part. Okay, so this is for that question. And let's talk about the last question, which some of you might not learn it before because this question is a little bit challenging. So let's read it together. So given the system of linear inequality, mx minus y equals to negative n, and 2m minus 1 times x minus y is negative 4. And then we need to answer the following one. So for the first one, if there is no solution for the system of inequality, what is the value for m and n? So let's solve for the first one and also the second one. So the first one, we have my minus mx minus y equals to negative n. And for the second one, we have 2m minus 1 and then minus y equals to negative 4. So both the two inequality have negative y. So in order to get rid of negative y and only have one variable x, we need to do the subtraction. So we can use 2 minus 1 to see what we can get. We will have 2m minus 1 x and minus mx. So minus y and then plus y, they cancel out. So we will have negative 4 minus 1, which is a positive n, right? So we can do the calculation. So it's 2m minus 1 and then minus m times x equals to n minus 4. So m minus 1 times x equals to n minus 4. So we can have this one. So this equality. So if there is no solution for the system of inequality, what is the solution for m and n? So it means that under no circumstance will there be a value for x. So if there will be no situations, so for example, if m minus 1 equals to 0, so m equals to 1, then the left side will become 0, no matter what is the value for y, right? But if n is not equals to 4, then mean the right side cannot be 0 anymore. Then under no circumstance, 0 can be not equals to 0, right? So actually, if in a case, if there is a situation that m equals to 1, but n is not equals to 4, then actually there is no solution. So the answer for the first one is that m equals to, the situation will be m equals to 1, and the value for y equals to 1, while n is not equals to 4. So in that case, there is no solution. And let's see when there will be only one solution. So m minus 1 times x equals to n minus 4. So what is the case when there is only one solution? So in that case, actually, if m is not equals to 1, then actually x will always equals to, so x will always equal to n minus 4 divided by n minus 1, right? So there is only one solution if we know what is the value for m and n, because m and n are all parameters. So actually, when m is not equals to 1, there will only be one solution. And for the third question, if there is infinite solutions for the system of inequality, what is the value for m and what is the value for n? So if m minus n times x equals to n minus 4, so it means that no matter what is the value for x, the equality always holds. So in that case, if like we have 0x equals to 0, then whenever what is the value for x, the equality will always hold. So in that case, m minus 1 equals to 0, so m equals to 1. And n minus 4 equals to 0, n will equal to 4. So if m equals to 1 and n equals to 4, the equality will always hold. So there will be infinite solutions. So this will be the answer for the third question. So this question is a little bit hard. So first of all, we need to form an equality with x, and then we need to use the thinking process of the classified discussion to think about the three questions. And I'm looking forward to see your last day's practice problem. Bye, guys.